What are you gonna do with that fat later?
This right here?
Yeah.
This is really great for cassoulet.
Mm.
Okay? I mean, it's winter time. I know it's LA and it doesn't get below 60 or whatever.
It's cold out now. I'll take it.
I'm originally from New York, so I mean, this is nothing for me.
Yeah, one man's 50 and another
It's true.
man's
It's
25.
true. It's true. It's so true. My aunt lives in Florida, and when it gets 65, she puts on a fur coat. Why anyone in Florida owns a fur coat, I don't know. So, but cassoulet, it's great for cassoulet. It's great for just actually searing something. If you want, you can put this in a pan, let it render a little bit, take it out, and then sear your meat in it. And it's really great. It's got tons of flavor. You can roll it up. You can sit there. You can throw it into a braise. Another thing you can do is make lardo. Does anyone know what lardo is? Yeah. Lardo is cured fat back. Another Italian tradition. I'm sorry, I'm stereotyping Italian. So, but I mean, again, utilizing the whole animal. You don't just have to, put it into sausage and make fat, and use it for fat back. You can actually eat this, 100%. This guy doesn't have much to offer, but on a larger pig, you'll get fat that's almost 1.5 inches thick, depending. And what you can do is, depending on how much you actually take off of the loin itself, will depend on how much fat you have. There is a natural line that will separate the skin that has the fat attached to it and the actual fat that you want to keep attached to, but you can harvest all the fat. Take the skin off, and go ahead and cure that for like 4 days, 5 days. Really nice herbs, a lot of salt, maybe some juniper, and then just let it hang in a nice cool area. I mean, the thing about curing, I don't know what kind of homes you have, but basement, you need a basement. I mean, ideally, you really need something that has the right environment. You know what I mean? Maybe some of you have wine cellars. I don't. That's perfect. I hang mine in my closet with the bathroom window open so I get ventilation. My wife's not a fan, but that's fine. At the end of the day, when I'm making some pasta with homemade guanciale, she's happy.
For how long do you hang it in the closet?
Well, about 3 months. Depending on what it is. Guanciale would be done in about 6 weeks. Something small like that tenderloin, I could do lonza or loma with those, and that'll just, that loin right there will cure it in a week. Yeah, and then it'll be ready in 3 weeks tops. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna cut a double bone-in chop. We're gonna sear that off afterwards as well. And I just go right.
Where is the chop relative to the ribs again? To the
chop
to the
is right here.
To the baby? Right.
Okay, so this is that first 4 or 5 inches of the ribs coming from the spine. So this is our guy. Sorry, this is our guy. Right. So these ribs, and then this is the loin right here. Okay. And we keep that intact, so that way when we roast it, it's going to get nice crispy. You'll have a nice, beautiful, elegant look to it, having it Frenched.
So you can prepare loin as just a loin or as a rib too?
You can, yeah, that's exactly what it is. It depends. You'll see it in the supermarket. You'll see bone-in rib chop. You'll see, just boneless loin. Another thing, I'm sorry, I should have mentioned. I could have kept the tenderloin intact on the inside here, and kept the loin intact, and actually did a cross cut right across. And that's where you get your porterhouse from, or your T-bone. And you'll see that actually changes throughout, especially like on beef. You'll see where it's called a porterhouse, where you get a good portion of the tenderloin on one side, and a nice portion of the sirloin on the other. And then it comes down as T-bone, where you get less of each. You get more sirloin, less tenderloin. And then finally you'll have, I think it's they call it the pin bone, which is almost zero tenderloin, and then it's closer though to the almost like 2 inches or so away from where the ribeye starts. There's so many different names for so many different cuts. That's what I said, it's like that's the one thing I think is really unique about butchering, is that depending on who you butcher with, what region they're in, it's all going to depend on what they're doing. Whether it's a square cut or a captain's cut or a T-bone or a cowboy steak or a tomahawk, or just everyone's got their own thing, and I'm all for it. I'm personally, I was trained European style. That's why you see me breaking on a table. Although a lot of butchers, when they do larger animals, they'll do more Western where it's hanging. So they actually use the gravity of the animal to separate all the meat and all the muscles. I like to do it on the table. I like to get my hands there, as you can see. So I'm going to cut this bone-in rib chop here. Being safe, I got my towel. Nice double bone-in chop.
Mm.
I'm gonna check this bacon, guys, because I really want to feed you. I'm gonna make some sausage. You guys want to make some sausage?
Yeah.